Hi, my name is Olive Swan, and the title for this video could also be I would rather get shot than do this again. Then I would eat a deep fried cookie-mouse or watch an Ace Family's video, and to be honest, I don't know which one is worse.
Hey Ace Family!
But I'm not here to talk about fictional monsters or people who have more lawsuits than what my hands can count. I'm here to tell you about the struggles that I've had doing yet another completely useless project. I don't know if you noticed, but there's a lump on my chest on the recordings. It's not a malformation or a dislocated Adam's apple, it's just my microphone. Because of that, you'll hear a little bit of... or... Keep in mind that this is not a Dave Chappelle show. It's just plain ignorance. As you might have read in the title, I've implemented Minesweeper for Excel, and I'm assuming that you know what both of them are. In case you don't know, I can tell you that one of them is a very powerful tool used by millions of people around the world that can help you develop cognitive skills and a rational mindset. The other one is Microsoft Excel. This whole thing started with me brainstorming video ideas. I thought it could be fun to program something in Excel, then it came to mind that a game could be a good idea. I had a look at other games implemented in Excel, and there's already quite a few. There's a classic tic-tac-toe, some Tetris, and then there's also the extreme example of Doom. Yes, your ears are working fine. Someone made Doom for Excel. Step aside, police officers, get out of here, firefighters, because we've got a new hero in town. In all honesty, congratulations to the guy, because it must have been like really hard to put all that thing together. It also makes a great resume entry. I can't even imagine an interview going something like, it says here that you implemented Doom for Excel. Is that right?
Yeah, that was me, that's right.
Okay, I see. Why? After watching these videos, I started to think which game should I implement, and just like Neo, Minesweeper ended up being the chosen one. The game is made out of tiles, which fits perfectly into Excel. It's also not hard enough to make me lose my mind halfway through it or launch my computer out the window. I based my game out of Microsoft Minesweeper and tried to do a faithful version of it. Emphasis on tried. The first thing I noticed is that the game has 3 difficulties: easy, medium and hard. To mimic that, I added 3 buttons to the main tab, and each button would open a new tab when clicked. The next step was to build a board, and each difficulty had a board with a different dimension. So now, when you click on a button, not only a new tab opens, but a board is also created. I also put a label to show how many mines you have left, and added this button to allow you to close this tab. Pretty simple stuff. The next step was to do some code that will run every time you press a button on the board. This was when desperation started to take over. Every great hero has an amazing villain. For Batman you've got the Joker, the everyday person has got Karens, and everyone who tells a joke has got PC culture. Except if you're Dave Chappelle. In my case, the villain was not on Twitter, it was on Excel. It's a programming language called Visual Basic, which is what I'm using to do this game. Eventually I managed to get the code working, so now it shows a pop-up message when I left-click the board and another pop-up message when I right-click on it. This part alone took me 3 days to finish. And this is either because A, I'm a bad programmer, or B, Visual Basic is a crappy language. The answer is B. Another good title for this video could be An Angry Letter to Visual Basic, where I would just write an all-caps email to John Visual Basic, who is the man who invented this programming language. Please don't look that up. After the clicks were working, I noticed something that could be a huge problem while playing the game. It was taking too long for the board to load. Obviously, this would depend on the size of the board. The one that I'm showing is the easy one, which took about 10 seconds to load. But the hard one took about 1 minute and a half. In some situations, lasting more than expected could be a good thing when we're talking about an iPhone battery or a Metallica song, but not in this case. The game was taking so long to load because every time that I started a new game, I created a new tab and I was building the board from scratch. A fix for this is to hide the tab when you close the game and show it again when you start a new one. This way, the board isn't being built every single time. This fix cut down the time to load the board from about 1.5 minutes to 5 seconds. It was now time to start filling out the board, and the first task was to place the mines. This is quite simple because the only rule to follow is that there can only be one mine per tile. So it's enough to randomly select an X amount of different tiles, depending on the difficulty level, and just place the mines on the board. The number that appears on a given tile is the number of mines which are around that tile. For example, this cell will have the number 3 because it has 3 mines next to it. But how is this calculated? First, we would start a counter with the value 0. Then, we would go through all the tiles around this one and update the counter if the tile is a mine. At the end, we will have the number of mines around that tile. After all these shenanigans, the board is set and I can start implementing the gameplay. To get the easiest problem out of the way, I decided to start placing the flags. If you right-click a tile that hasn't been shown, a flag will appear. If you right-click it again, the flag will disappear. Nothing too special here. Implementing the left click is a little bit more challenging because one of 3 things can happen. You can hit a mine, a numbered tile, or an empty one. If it's a mine, congratulations, you just lost the game. In the case of a numbered tile, the number just shows up, so the only tiles left to handle are the empty ones. These ones are a problem because they will show a bunch of different tiles when clicked. I'll try to explain how this works, but it's a bit confusing and I'm not a good teacher, so please bear with me. Assuming you're playing in easy mode, if you click on the tile, it shows all the other tiles. That's it. The only thing that's missing is to check when a player wins the game. This happens when all the tiles are shown except the ones that are mines. After all of this, the game is done, and I think it would be pretty stupid to do all of this and not even play it. So, let's give it a go. That one didn't count. One is here for sure, the other one is here for sure, and the other one is here for sure. This one has 2, which means that there's nothing here, and there's nothing here. This one has 2, which is this one and this one, which means that there's nothing here. There's nothing here, and there's nothing here. This guy has 1, which is this one, so there's nothing here. Let's just go to the corner here. Okay, let's open up this bad boy. Okay, so this one has 3, which means that 2 of them are here. For this guy to have 2, since one of them is here, the other one can be here. This guy has 1, so it's here, which means that there's nothing here. This guy has 1, so there's nothing here. Okay. This guy has 1, which is this one, so there's nothing here. This guy also has 1, which means there's nothing here. For this guy to have 2, it means there's 1 here. For this guy to have 2, it means there's 1 here. Right? Right. This guy has 2, which is 1 here and the other one here, so there's nothing here. Okay, this guy has 3, which is this 3, so there's nothing here. And here, and here. For this guy to have 1, it means that this one needs to be here, so there's nothing here and there's nothing here. Let's fucking go. It was definitely a challenge to do this project more because of the programming language than anything else. If you ask me, would you rather be shot in the foot or do this again, I would say, shoot the left one, please. To all the people who work with this all day, my congratulations and my condolences as well. To anyone who's thinking about trying to do something like this, please don't. Choose another language, another platform, another anything, for the sake of your mental sanity and the well-being of your computer. If for some reason you would like to play this unholy game, the link to download it is in the description. The code for this abomination is in the description as well. Just make sure you close your eyes while you're looking at it to avoid tear shedding and severe trauma. You know the drill. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. It will help the algorithm and my ego as well. See you on the next video with yet another useless project. Until then, remember to eat your school, stay in your vegetables, and most importantly, Don't do Visual Basic. Eventually I'm... Can I talk? Every goddamn day there's always some asshole banging. Ah, it almost stopped. Even shared for this video. People say that they can't be two places at the same time, but from the neck down I'm in Brazil and from the neck up I'm in the North Pole or something.